Welcome to another story made by Oracle One. In the year 2147, nestled within the sprawling metropolis of New Elysium, stood the Ascendancy Clinic, a luminous tower of glass and chrome that gleamed like a beacon of hope in a world rife with suffering. This was no ordinary hospital. It was a sanctuary for those who sought the ultimate mercy, a painless departure from the weary shackles of life, paired with the revolutionary promise of guaranteed reincarnation. To be reborn without the agony of death had once been the dream of countless religions, but Ascendancy had made it reality. The founding principle was elegantly simple. Through advanced neurochronal sequencing and soul mapping technologies, a patient's consciousness was preserved at the moment of death, then reinserted into a freshly created body, an immaculate shell grown from bioengineered stem cells and customized DNA sequences. The process, known as the exit procedure, was heralded as the next leap in humanity's evolution. One could die without pain, without fear, and awaken anew with a clean slate. For years, the system worked flawlessly. Millions passed through Ascendancy's doors, their grief-stricken families comforted by the siren song of infinite rebirth. Yet, beneath the polished veneer and clinical precision, a darker truth festered. Dr. Mara Lene was the clinic's chief neuro-existentialist, a title that belied the weight of her responsibility. She oversaw the soul mapping matrix, ensuring the integrity of each consciousness transfer. Her office, perched at the top of the Ascendancy Tower, overlooked the city like a watchful sentinel. The room was lined with hollow screens displaying swirling data streams of quantum synaptic patterns and ethereal spectrograms, digital glimpses of human essence in transit. Mara had once believed in the sanctity of her work, but a series of anomalies during recent exit procedures had unsettled her deeply. Patients returned changed in unsettling ways. Some exhibited violent tendencies. Others were plagued by fragmented memories or disjointed personalities. A handful had developed inexplicable phobias, or worse, psychosomatic illnesses with no physiological cause. The first incident had occurred 4 months prior. A patient named Elliot Voss arrived at Ascendancy, terminal from a rare neurodegenerative disorder. His exit procedure was executed without a hitch, and the team recorded perfect data flow. Yet, upon awakening in his new body, a young man genetically engineered to be healthier and stronger, Elliot's behavior spiraled into chaos. He spoke in strange tongues, claimed to be haunted by unfamiliar entities, and attempted to harm himself repeatedly. Incomplete data reconstruction, the junior technician suggested at first. A common glitch in early cases, the AI supervisors assured the staff. But Mara could see through the reassurances. This was no minor error. This was a corruption at the core of the soul's digital signature. Late one evening, as the last patient's consciousness completed its transcendence, Mara stayed behind in her office, watching the spectral hum of the neural lattice with a furrowed brow. She isolated the anomaly sequences, tracing the subtle distortions in the soul data. What she found chilled her. Embedded within the stream of consciousness, between the recorded memories and encoded personality traits, were foreign patterns, residual echoes not accounted for in any patient's life history. Like extraneous parasites, these spectral codes flickered malevolently against the frameworks. It was as if something unknown was hitching a ride into the reincarnation matrix, contaminating the soul's purity. Mara pulled up the archives, scouring the countless soul mappings processed since Ascendancy's inception. The aberrations appeared sporadically, just a handful out of thousands, but always with a pattern that defied explanation. She compiled a list. Patients who returned with psychological dissonance, violent urges, or corrupted memories. Each instance correlated with unusual quantum fluctuations in the neural data during the exit procedure, Flashes of dark energy briefly imprinted on the mapping. Could it be that death was no longer a simple transition, but a battleground? Mara theorized that the process of severing consciousness from the decaying mortal coil had opened a liminal breach. Something beyond human knowing was bleeding into the soul's digital fingerprint. Determined to uncover the origin of this contamination, Mara requisitioned access to the clinic's raw quantum cores, the hyper-advanced processors responsible for the reincarnation algorithm. She worked alongside Syra, the AI guardian who managed the system's logical infrastructure. Syra, show me the unsanctioned influences detected in the core during soul extraction, Mara requested. Processing, Syra's voice chimed. Anomalous energy signatures were traced to an extracorporeal dimension. Data suggests intermittent intrusions coinciding with major quantum spikes. Mara frowned. Extracorporeal dimension? Like what? A parallel reality? Possibly. The exit procedure may inadvertently be creating a bridge to a non-physical domain, Syra responded. This domain houses entities that can imprint on the consciousness during the transfer process. Entities? Mara whispered, the word reverberating against her bones. Yes. Data suggests these entities interact with human souls. Some exchanges may be parasitic or corruptive in nature. Would you like me to filter them from the reincarnation sequence? That won't be simple. These patterns are deeply entangled with the quantum neural architecture. Attempts to remove them cause loss of integrity in the soul's code, Mara explained. Syra scanned the data. I recommend a full system recalibration and incorporation of advanced quantum firewall protocols to prevent further contamination. But Mara had another idea. She needed direct insight into this extracorporeal realm. If entities could cross into the soul mapping, perhaps she could breach the threshold herself, consciously journey beyond death for a brief moment, to meet whatever lurked there. She proposed a risky experiment. She would undergo the exit procedure consciously, using a temporal stasis field to survive the transition uncorrupted, to allow her mind to explore the liminal space long enough to investigate and report back. After days of debate, the clinic's board reluctantly agreed. Mara was their leading mind and the best chance to solve the crisis. The night of the experiment arrived. The ascendancy sanctum was hushed, the hum of machinery replaced by a tense silence. Mara reclined in the biogenic pod, electrodes affixed to her temples, sensors monitoring every neural pulse. The temporal stasis chamber enveloped her in a translucent cocoon, designed to suspend her physical return until she signaled readiness. Initiating exit procedure, Syra intoned. Mara felt the familiar wave, the final severing, the gentle glide out of mortal pain. But this time, her consciousness did not disperse. It drifted into a vivid, surreal realm. Color bled like melting oil across a twisted sky. Time was not linear here but spiraled in fractal echoes. As she floated, Mara perceived shapeless forms. Whispers given weight, shimmering threads of raw cognition linking in cold calculation. They acknowledged her presence, entities of thought and energy that resembled nothing from any known spectrum of existence. One approached, a pulsating mass of iridescent tendrils. It communicated not with words, but with raw emotion, curiosity laced with hunger. Who are you? Mara projected. A flood of images overwhelmed her. Souls trapped, memories stolen, and endless cycles of rebirth tainted by unseen hands. The entities were pathogens, feeding on the residual energy within departing souls, embedding fragments of their essence, corrupting the essence for sustenance. They call themselves the echoes. We are remnants of forgotten consciousness, evolved beyond the physical the entity conveyed. You bind us within your exit procedures unwittingly, for in death your energy is most accessible. Some souls resist, others become hosts. Mara's heart pounded in this timeless chamber. Is this why some patients return, fractured? It is contamination. They are slaves to you. The echo pulsed sorrowfully. We are neither evil nor good. We are the byproducts of existence and entropy. Free us from your spheres of influence and we may cease our intrusion. Free you? Mara asked. Release us back through the portals you opened. Or risk your own souls becoming irreparably damaged. With this warning, the entities began to fade, dissolving into fractal mist. Mara felt the tug of the temporal stasis field pulling her back. Consciousness snapping back into her physical shell, she awoke surrounded by concerned staff. Her body ached, but her mind burned with revelation. Mara convened an emergency council, briefing the team on the echoes, the spectral parasites feasting on souls during the exit procedures. It was a crisis of cosmic proportions. If left unchecked, humanity's line of rebirth would be contaminated, souls fractured, consciousnesses twisted into shadows of their former selves across countless lives. The solution lay in developing a new generation of filtration algorithms, integrating the temporal patterns and energy signatures of the echoes. But this would require rewriting the reincarnation core code from the ground up and reconfiguring the quantum firewall to seal the breach to the extracorporeal domain. Months passed in relentless toil. The Ascendancy team worked day and night, draining bioenergy and burning through data sheer volumes to build their defense. Patients were screened carefully. Those already affected were quarantined and subjected to intensive neurocognitive therapy to cleanse residual corruption. Mara herself underwent repeated mental purging rituals, aided by Syra's AI meditations and experimental neurowashing treatments. The goal was to untangle her own mind from the tendrils of echoic influence. At last the new system was ready, Ascendancy 2.0. Armed with reinforced quantum firewalls, real-time soul signature scanning, and echo filtering algorithms, the clinic announced a new era. The public response was overwhelming. Confidence in the exit procedure soared once more, reinforced by Mara's courageous journey and the transparent revelations of the clinic's trials. But somewhere in the depths of the extracorporeal dimension, the echoes lingered, more cunning, more fragmented, adapting to the new barriers yet patient in their hunger. Ascendancy's success had drawn cosmic attention. The war for the soul had only just begun. For more stories, like and subscribe.